Trying to.
But you're a good dad and a good husband.
That's all that matters.
That's what counts, yes.
Now we're going to start off with prayer. Father, we come to you humbly to ask you to bless this program in important knowledge to the people back at home watching. Give us clues to talk about on this program that might quicken people and give them an idea to deal with what they're dealing with. We know the world is full of problems, and we come on this show to help people that are hurting. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the poster boy for schizophrenic, and if somebody is having mental problems, they might learn something from here. And of course, I give all the grace and glory to my Lord Jesus Christ. And we also would like to pray for my friend Linda Moe, who is going in for a stress test tomorrow. She's a delightful lady. And we thank you in Jesus' name.
I have a quick one too for Carolyn, who had a brain tumor reappear on an MRI scan, and she's going to be consulting with her neurologist next week, so she's asked for some prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. Lucy's going to clue me in when I talk too much, Lucy. You know what to do. Like if y'all have been watching this show for a while, y'all know that I'm a power lifter. These are some of the medals I have won in powerlifting. Lucy, can you get a close-up? Okay. These are some of the medals. I have won, well, y'all can see them. These are some of the medals I have won. I have won 51 world powerlifting and weightlifting world championship titles in the 14 or 15 years that I have been competing. I have made 44 state records and 3 world records while competing, and I'm sure some of them have been broken already, you know. Last November, before I turned 70, I deadlifted 290 pounds, so that's not too bad, you know. But we got a call. See who this is. Yes, caller.
Hey, Bob, it's Bert.
Hey, Bert, how you
Bert.
doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing so well with your bodybuilding.
Thank you, Bert.
Yeah, it's nice to see your trainer on TV.
Yes, just keep on watching, Bert. I got a few things to share.
Okay, I just wanted to let y'all know about the group Help Me Help Bert and Miss Cindy. It's on Facebook. You and Richard and them are invited to join the group.
Say
Okay.
that again, Bert.
Help Me Help Bert and Miss Cindy. It's
Oh.
on Facebook. There's a group.
Okay. Richard's gonna find it, Bert.
All right. Thank you, Bert.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye for now.
Okay.
Take care.
Anyway, I'm gonna talk a little bit of my life. Y'all know I'm kind of like a ham, but when I turned 70, I decided I have some injuries from powerlifting. You know, I have torn cartilage in my left knee, and I was still able to squat with 200 pounds. But you know, I figured at 70 it was time to retire because I might be trying to pick up deadlift 300 pounds or more, and I might snap something at my age. You know, I'm not 20 years old anymore, even though sometimes I feel like I'm 20 years old. But anyway, so I decided to retire. And one thing in life, when you decide to change something, you know, you got to have something to put in place of it. And I had, you know, and I talked to my publicist and PR lady, Jalen Tompkins, beautiful lady. She's getting married in September to her fiance Randall Trahan. But anyway, you know, I didn't have anything to replace it with. I did. I was going to go into bodybuilding, and it just goes to show you that, we all have passions, that we want to deal with, that we want to do. And I would say, go for your passions. It's good for the soul. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your, if it's bodybuilding or exercise, it's good for the body. It's good for the spirit. It's really good for the spirit. And so, I needed to change. She was scared that with my schizophrenia, I wouldn't have anything to focus on, and that I would end up in the hospital again like I did last year for a month, But it didn't happen that way. I hooked up with Chase, and Chase started to train me in bodybuilding. Yep. And I've been doing it for over 5 months, or about 5 months, and I decided to go on the 13th of this month to compete in the Louisiana State Bodybuilding Championships. And let me show you what I won.
You got a phone call.
Huh?
Call, Bob.
We got another call?
Got a call.
Yes, caller.
Yeah, it's Carolyn, Bob. I'm not connected.
Huh?
I'm not connected to you all. I can't view you on my Facebook, and I don't have COP.
Let me talk. Lucy, she's not connected to Facebook. Not yet. It's not yet, Carolyn. Not yet.
Okay, all right. I just want to let you know. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I won first place, Mr. Louisiana in the 60 age group on up, and fourth place in the 50-year-olds and on up. And I also won this trophy, which was the first place medal, So, it was a successful meet. Richard was there. Our beautiful director, Lucy. Come say hello, Lucy, if you get a chance. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to include you in prayer. Look how beautiful she is, ladies and gentlemen, with that platinum hair and beautiful teeth, dark, deep blue eyes.
And she knows
Lucy
how
has
to work
been
that
has
TriCast.
come on the show 3 years ago, and we have jumped up. She got us on Facebook, and she's been a boom to us ever since.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it, so.
Yeah, we love Lucy to life. We love Lucy to life, ladies.
And we have learned a lot from all of our guests. I think we've had over 200 or 300 guests over the last
Oh, wow.
10 years at least.
Yeah, probably so.
Something like that.
Yeah. So, okay, thank you, Lucy. So anyway, like I was saying earlier, in this life, and this is a tough life. It's tougher than it's just ever been. There's so much hate and discord in the world. So much confusion. And I have gotten into bodybuilding to the max. I'm sold on it after my contest, after my first place, and I'm going to continue. Me and Chase are going to be competing in the Southern Muscle, huh?
Southern Muscle, yes,
Southern
sir.
Muscle in Baton Rouge in 3 months. But anyway, so tonight we're going to talk about exercise. And I'm going to read a little bit. Exercise, 7 benefits of regular physical activity. Exercise is good for you, but do you know how good? From boosting your mood to improving your sex life, find out how exercise can improve your life. It controls weight. It combats health conditions and diseases, like hoping to prevent high blood pressure. Being active boosts high density lipoprotein, HDL, cholesterol, the good cholesterol, and it decreases unhealthy triglycerides. Let me read a little bit more. It improves mood, needing an emotional lift, like my friend at Mel's Carlos tells me. before, if she doesn't work out before she comes to work, she's not in a good mood, you know? So it helps.
Yes, it does.
It boosts energy. It promotes better sleep. And you know, I've been sleeping better since I've been working out. It puts spark back into your sex life, which is good, you know, if you're married.
Yes.
And it can be fun and social, you know. You're around people that like the same kind of stuff that you do. And it can be a good thing, you know. And once again, I gotta stress to you people, whether you exercise, if you're a musician, if you're a writer, dwell into your passion, you know, and it will make you feel better, you know. And I'm gonna start asking Chase a few questions.
All right.
Okay, you were born in New Iberia.
I was born and raised out of New Iberia, Louisiana.
You went to NISH, New Iberia High School.
Yep.
An enemy of Catholic High, where I went to school. But I went a long time before then.
Might have been a few years before. Might have been a few years.
A few years before. And you were in sports.
Played a lot of sports as a kid.
What sports were you in?
Played soccer, football, baseball. I really advanced a lot in gymnastics and golf, actually.
Really?
Wow.
Football, I played for a few years. I thought I was too small at the time, so, you know, I didn't really continue with that.
Yeah.
That was kind of a mistake I made, but
Okay.
hey, we learn.
Yeah.
We live and we learn.
You live
know?
and learn.
Mm-hmm.
Were you a fast runner?
That was my biggest thing, was I was extremely agile, so I
Yeah.
was quick at
Yeah.
stopping and very quick at going again
Okay.
at fast speed.
Making
so,
cuts and
so I
all
was
that.
real good at cutting.
Yeah.
I just wasn't the guy that could go up to the big guy and go up against him real hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ran from the big guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. And you're 32 years old.
32 years old now.
Raising a family with 3 children. Isn't that remarkable, ladies and gentlemen? What would you say is the single most reason for your success?
I would have to say, honestly, 1, my military career, and 2, my family.
Your family.
My family.
Family.
The military is kind of what got me to tone down a little bit and kind of get back to a reality.
Yeah.
You know, get out of that party life. And we
Yeah.
all go through that phase. You
Oh,
know?
yeah. Oh,
we
yeah.
all go through the party days.
Yeah.
And I kind of used that to restart on my life, you know. And as I started having kids, then I took health into a big, you know, I want to be around when my grandkids are born.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that was the biggest thing that I took for health-wise.
Yeah.
And then fitness, obviously, exercise and nutrition go hand in hand with each other.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do one without the other.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
so I'd say that's definitely my 2 biggest things that really set me on the path to getting successful at what I do. And I'm still learning, and we're still going.
Yeah.
You know,
Life is a learning process.
If you know everything, you weren't successful.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
it's always a learning curve on everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm curious about the nutrition part because I'm
Yeah.
embarked upon that myself because I used to be 180 pounds. What was my A1C? About 9.6, and I didn't even know it. And I kept getting a lot of thirst, a lot of lethargy. I had sleep apnea. I had a lot of stuff ganging up on me, but I've dropped down to about 150 from 180. A lot of it this last couple of years. Switched off all the fried stuff, more fish, poultry. I still get my occasional T-bone,
Yeah.
you know, things like that, but I'll still have my occasional French fries, like one of the local diners, but I'm cutting down on that. More vegetables. Now,
Yes.
Bob, you don't like vegetables.
Bob
No,
doesn't
I
like
don't eat
vegetables.
No. No.
But
I'm
they're
still
help-
trying on that one.
They're helping my triglycerides go down, my LDL, that's the bad one, go down, and my
Yes, yes.
HDL go up. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, you want your HDL you don't want your HDL increasing and your LDL increasing.
Right.
You want it the opposite.
Beyond the opposite.
Yes, sir.
And everything's checked out good in my blood work, but God, I don't eat sweets. I've been walking down this road that they just built down behind our neighborhood that goes down to the shopping mall on Louisiana Avenue, and I love to walk.
Yeah.
And if there's a friendly neighborhood dog that wants to get walked, hey, I took one
Rich
named,
is the guy to walk a dog, yeah.
Yeah.
I walked a dog named Drew Breeze. He's a little, I can't think of the breed right now, but he was all white and fluffy, but as soon as he found out he's gonna go for a walk, he was all for it.
You know, that's a good form of exercise too.
It
Just
is.
walking.
It
you know,
is.
a
Yeah,
nice,
it
good,
is.
moderate walk.
And ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are stagnant at your house, or you know, like especially people with mental conditions, because with mental conditions there's a lot of isolation.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Yes,
I go through
yeah.
isolation every day, and it's not fun. And thank God with Clarice. This lady that came on the other day, we have a clubhouse that we're going to be trying to build for people with mental health conditions. But I would like to say, if you are by yourself, and I can understand where you're at, just ask God to show you that He's real and He real, and go out and take a walk. You know,
Yes.
if you're able to. You know, what it'll do. It'll defrag the condition of your brain, you know?
Yes.
If you're not feeling good or you're thinking something bad or whatever, it'll defrag your brain and it'll get you focused on something else, right, Chase?
Yes, sir.
And isn't it
That's
all about
correct.
focus?
Everything's about focus. If you're not happy, you can't focus.
No.
And if you can't focus, you can't be happy. So it kind of goes hand in hand with each other, you know?
Yeah. Catch 22.
Like you said, you got to feel good. That comes from a hormone called endorphins, actually.
Yeah.
When we exercise, and a lot of people don't, what they don't think is, they think weightlifting and they think sprinting is exercise, which they are great forms of exercise.
Yeah.
But like Richard was saying, walking your dog,
Yeah.
gardening, you know, throughout the day, simply parking in the back of Walmart parking lot and walking further throughout the day is exercise. You know, it's what they call NEAT, and it's non-exercise activity thermogenesis is what it's called. And basically, you're just keeping your daily activity up. You're not necessarily running or going to the gym for an hour or, you know, going swimming laps, but just staying in motion, staying away from a constant sedentary state
Right.
is what you really want to focus on. So finding things that are sustainable.
Yeah.
Walking your dog, just going for a walk on your own.
Yeah.
A simple washing your car.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe wash it once or twice a week.
Yeah.
You know, just that adding up of those little things eventually will
Okay.
get you to the buildup of how much exercise we need. You know,
What was that abbreviation again?
Yeah, NEAT, N-E-A-T. So non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's basically just kind of getting your metabolism woken up again. That's why they say in the morning, if you wake up, you should go for a little 15, 20-minute brisk walk before you eat. It kind of wakes up your body.
Yeah.
Drinking a lot of, a good 16, 20 ounces of water before you take on any kind of food. Just kind of wakes your body systems
Okay.
up, because when we wake up, our body's completely downregulated. That's when we're
Oh, yeah.
recovering,
Oh,
our
yeah.
hormones are replenishing, stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. So doing just simple stuff like that, people would feel so much better on a daily basis.
Really? 15-minute walk and about
A 15, 20-minute walk. So according to studies and doctors that do all this, these performance specialists and everything, we really only need about 30 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity. And like I said, walking, that's not 30 minutes of weightlifting and sweating
Right.
profusely.
Right.
That's intense workout. That's more of an athletic standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we're just active, just getting our heart rate up a little bit and staying in an active state,
Yes.
that for at least 30 minutes a day is going to increase those endorphin releases. It's going to increase stress. It's going to decrease your stress, which allows you to sleep better, which then allows you to feel better, and then your day just goes by better after that. And then it's just a domino effect of good things. When you start backing away, like today in our technology world, we're very sedentary.
Yes.
Right? It's made us become very sedentary. So it's easy to be lazy today.
Yeah.
It's
It
too
is.
easy.
Yeah, I'm
you
lazy.
know?
I'm lazy sometimes. Yeah.
So it's when you start setting yourself back, your body just slowly down regulates and you feel worse and worse and worse, and it's just so much harder to get back to that normal state. And that's where a lot of our struggles come from. It's just getting from here to here, getting back to normal.
Yeah.
You should have the water with you when
Which
you're doing the walk.
you should have, yeah, you know,
Okay.
and you don't have to carry. Like I walk around, I got a big half-gallon jug. I
And
walk
I'm
around with
always
all day.
drinking, I'm always-
Bob, I constantly throughout our workouts, I'm making him sip on water. You know, every few
Good.
sets. So, hydrating is really good. You know, can you drink too much water? Too much of anything's bad for us.
Right,
But
right.
it's really hard to drink too much water.
Right.
You got to try.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. let me ask you. Okay, you competed last year in bodybuilding, right?
I did compete last year. Same show you did actually.
You went in
1 year ago.
you won the, what you won, the physique?
So I took the classic physique class B win.
Okay. What's class B?
So classic physique is you have class A, B, C, and D, and it's basically broken up into height.
Okay.
So it's every 3 inches. So
Okay.
my class is 5'7" to 5'10".
Okay.
So anyone in that height range basically was who I was
And B,
competing
yeah,
against. Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay.
You took physique.
And I took first place in that, and I almost took the entire show, but my conditioning was a little off, and I just wasn't quite big enough.
Okay. Okay.
So I've taken time off, and also I had a busted shoulder at the time, so I was getting ready for a show with a tear in my shoulder.
Yeah. Wow.
Didn't even know it. Found out a couple months later that my shoulder had been torn for a while.
Wow.
And I had surgery on that and had that fixed, and
Good.
now I'm back and healthy
You
again.
back in
I'm
action.
back.
You back.
Yep,
He's
I'm
back.
back.
And I'm back too.
Bob's coming up. We all getting better.
We all
Yes.
getting better. I think it's time, now that we have the audience's attention, I think it's time to show the film, Lucy. This is a film where I competed in the Louisiana State Bodybuilding Championships, where I won Mr. Louisiana in the 60 age group and up,
Yes, sir.
and came out fourth in the 50 age group and up. Okay. Okay, that's
It's a pretty waterfall.
yeah.
They got a lot of backgrounds.
Yeah.
That actually, well, let's see.
There's another one.
I've been to Waimea Falls in Hawaii, and that is just incredible. It's
Yeah.
a perfect circle. And it was, we took about a 2-mile hike instead of taking the tram, and the smells and the sounds and the plumeria
Okay.
flowers.
Here's some of it. This is it.
Oh, look, you want me to get it? Am I in the middle?
You're in the middle.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Now you can see it.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab
This
my
is
water
it.
real fast. So let's see what we got. Is this you, Bob? That comes up first?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's me. I kind of got it. I'm learning my body, and I know I got room for a lot of condition. But that's a 70-year-old man, ladies and gentlemen. And this is me posing. I still got to work on my gut, you know. But I will be doing that.
Hey, but we
I'm
came a
doing-
long way.
We've come a long way, yeah. That's after training for 5 months.
Wow.
And ladies and gentlemen, that the suit I'm wearing is one of the more modest suits.
Yes. My suit is much smaller.
Yeah. I will just wear that suit from now on. Right, Lucy? Okay. And then we're gonna show this is me with the 50-year-olds. But those guys have been training for 20 and 30 years,
Come
ladies
on.
and gentlemen. You know? And I've just been training 5 months in bodybuilding. I did the best I could, you know?
Remember, you always got to focus on forward progress, and that's what we focus
Right.
on.
That's
Right,
right. We
right.
focus
We don't
on
fall backwards. We fall forwards
Yes.
and keep going.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is a guy that has suffered for 50 years with one of the worst of all the mental illnesses known to man, who has a relationship with Jesus Christ and has done incredible things. Besides writing 9 books, and having this television show, and now I'm a bodybuilder, and the sky is the limits, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we met a veteran yesterday at Hub City Diner that's 94 years young. He's still writing.
Oh wow.
Bill Walker.
Yeah,
I found out from the waitress that he is still
A war
writing
hero.
books. And that blows me away, but he's kept his mind and body active.
That's it, exactly. That's you got to keep moving.
Yeah.
You know,
You
you,
gotta
you
keep
can't
moving.
stay still.
and you can't give up.
You can't
Can't
give up.
give
You
up.
only fail if you quit.
Yeah, I learned
You know?
a prayer from Richard Leday's wife Annette. That's in the Bible. It says, "Lord, give me grace, give me faith to succeed." You know, and that's what I say a lot. You know.
And you say some of these guys have been competing and training for 30
Long
up to 30
time.
30
years.
years,
Long time.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Long time.
I reckon
That takes a while to build the muscle, you know, years and years. Red Laurel told me it took him 20 years to build his muscle, you know.
20 years. He's now in his early 80s.
He's he's
Yep.
about 83 years old. And like Chase was saying, he has like probably the second or one of the top two
It's-
gyms in the country.
Yep.
I can believe it. I
Yeah,
get
it's a
lost
nice
there.
facility. Oh,
It
I know.
is. It
It's
is.
a nice
And
facility.
here's the girls, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful girls, of which Lucy's looks as good as any of them in the face, you know. She's not as in shape with them, but she looks just as good as they do. Lucy's a very pretty girl. So there's the girls, Lucy. Beautiful women.
You didn't turn it down.
Okay, I thought I turned it off. Hello? The show's not on? It's not on Facebook. It's on TV. I don't know. I'll talk to Lucy. It's not on Facebook, Lucy. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're not on Facebook. I don't know why. We're on AOC, but we're not on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook's been giving us some issues lately.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot has to talk back and forth from here, going out through Cox, through LUS Fiber, and then somehow on Facebook. So it's a lot of little electronic ports that it has to go through.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not perfect yet.
Yeah.
But Chase, what is thermogenics?
So it's basically just the heating of your body.
Okay.
It's a thermic effect.
Okay.
Anytime, it's like when you get sick.
Right.
So when you get sick, you get a fever, and what
Right.
that is your body basically trying to fight off an infection
Right.
or some type of virus, bacteria, something
Right.
foreign inside your body
Right.
that your body doesn't like. So
Right.
it heats up to try and get all these white blood cells and all these new cells getting in action to fight.
It's like,
And basically the same thing. So when we start moving, what happens is, your blood starts flowing, you start activating muscle fibers. I mean, literally just to walk from your bed to the bathroom. Just to breathe, we're moving muscles. So
Okay.
all day long, something is moving in our body, and basically your body has to repair anything that overworks.
Oh yeah.
So you got homeostasis is basically the survival mechanism of our body.
Okay.
Essentially, if you think about it, exercise is basically taking our body and trying to break it down and almost kill it, and our body is adapting itself to a bigger, better, stronger adaptation to be able to survive whatever limitations we're putting on it. So it's kind of like a fish.
Yeah.
If you put it in a small tank, it's only going to grow so big. You take that same fish and put it in a pond, it's going to grow bigger because it's adapting to its environment.
Okay.
Our
Okay.
body's basically doing the exact same thing.
Okay.
So if you lift So weightlifting's an easy analogy to look at. If
Okay.
you lift 100 pounds and you lift 100 pounds 10 times, and then you try for that 11th time and you struggle and can't get it, but somebody might help you get it.
Right.
Well, in that process, you're damaging muscle fibers. You have small microfiber tears that are basically happening inside your muscle.
Right.
That you'd have to look under a microscope to see, obviously. We
Okay.
can't see that. What happens is your body has to break down all these amino acids and proteins, which is what we're getting from food that we're intaking.
Mm-hmm.
And we're building, the protein is basically the building blocks of that muscle. And what is going to happen is it's going to take those building blocks and build extra fibers in a tighter, denser, compact form to where next time you try to do that 100 pounds for 11, you should be able to do it.
Wow.
And then from there, well, then you're trying for 12, but then you're trying for 13. And then
Okay.
you might increase the weight, you might increase the intensity, meaning you take a bigger load, you might sprinting, so sprinters or marathon runners. You know, they might be really good at running 30 miles, but make them run 32 miles and they're winded.
Yeah.
So they're going to train to get that 32 miles like it's that 30 mile. They're going to make their body adapt to something that's harder.
Well,
So
that's-
basically,
yeah.
you won't die.
I have
And
a
that's
friend-
all our system does.
I have a friend that did competitive swimming in college,
Okay.
and I watched her swim underwater like a torpedo. I don't know how anybody could. I was maybe halfway across the pool, and they were already coming back.
Man, and unfortunately, some people are just genetically gifted in areas.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
this is
of
what
course.
this is why we have professional athletes. You know, like I wasn't meant to be an NFL football player. You know,
Okay.
like I might have been meant to be a professional bodybuilder, or I might have been meant to be a surgeon, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
When we're born, we're meant to do something. You
Yeah.
know, and it's a matter of if we're gonna find that itch that we're meant to scratch. You know.
Yeah.
And that's just something we have to work towards. So like,
Yes.
it might be harder for you to do something that is easy for me, but in return, there's something that's going to be hard for me that's easy for you.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
So and sometimes we want to be that super fast swimmer, and we just can't. So
Yeah.
we get depressed, we get anxiety, we start freaking out because now we think we suck. And when you really don't, you just got to find what makes you happy and what is sustainable for your limitations.
Yes.
And that's what you become successful in.
Yes.
And that's what you learn to do,
Yes.
Well, they started out in these triathlons. I think they started the mile swim, then 10 miles on the bike,
Whew.
and then I forgot running.
Running,
Like they
yeah.
ran a marathon. They got up to 2-mile swim, 40-mile bike trip, and then about 10 miles running, and so on and so forth. And
The-
it took time to build up to that.
Yeah, the Ironman triathlon that I think it's gonna be in the Olympics coming up, but I think that the real one that's in Hawaii, they've got to swim I think 2 miles in the ocean. They've got to ride a bicycle about 100 miles. And run ride a bicycle and run a marathon. That is
Takes a lot.
It's some
Yeah.
animals, man, animals.
I had a surfing friend that swam clear around the island. They had to take a break at night, but he did around the island swim to raise funds to clean up the beaches.
Yeah,
It's a world-class surfer named Ace Cool. That's his stage name, but he passed away about 3 years ago when he went out in the waves at night and something happened. And it was kind of tough because he was very well known. His actual name is Alec Cook from the famous Cook family, but that took a lot of discipline because I looked at one picture of him on a wave that was about 40, 50 feet
Oh,
up,
yeah.
and all that discipline.
Richard.
Yeah.
I mean, Lucy, do you have some more pictures of us? Some pictures of Chase, yeah.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna show you pictures.
Hopefully there's some good ones.
These are good ones. This is how Chase looked last year.
So let's see which ones.
This is him.
That's me in the bodybuilding division.
That's him in the bodybuilding. Okay, This, you look ripped
So
right there.
that was
Chance.
before the show. Actually, I was about to go get my tan. I
wow.
just finished weighing in.
You ripped with the 6-pack
And
or
it was-
8-pack or
Yeah,
whatever.
I was feeling good there.
Yeah.
Now, when you say A through D, is A
And
the
this is-
tallest?
this
A
is
the shortest?
the
D is the
fitness.
tallest.
This
and
is
so
the-
this is classic physique.
Okay. And
Earlier you saw what was bodybuilding.
Okay,
so I
and
do
you
both
want-
divisions.
you
And I
want
won the
classic
classic
physique.
physique. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And Lucy, we got one of me. Oh no, this
And
is
that's
you
me and my wife.
and your beautiful wife, Stephanie. Yeah, she's a very pretty lady. And we got one of me, I think, huh, Lucy? One more. That's me
And that's you after.
with my trophy, first place.
Yeah.
Not bad for an old man, you know. With the mind of with the continence of a 20-year-old. But you know, those are some of the pictures. Tell us more about what exercise does for the body.
So let's talk about some different subjects. Well, you want to
Okay.
talk about a certain subject, or because man, I could honestly talk about this for days.
We got some-
Exercise,
we got some
exercise
dumbbells here.
We got some
overall.
dumbbells here. So exercise overall, as y'all know, we talked about earlier with the thermogenesis and just the daily activity.
Okay, wait. Okay, stop right
So
there.
what we got?
Okay, if you could show the audience.
So we got
You
some
can
dumbbells
you,
here.
You can stand up
All right, let's see what we got.
and demonstrate some exercise. That's 5-pound weights.
So this is 5-pound dumbbells. So there's a lot of things you can do with these. A lot of things. So your most basic movements are going to be your push up, your pull up, your presses. So a bench press, a shoulder press, and your squats, which is your lower body movements.
Okay.
If you want to get an overall great thing done or a great exercise done at work, in your office, at home, these you can bring anywhere. You know,
Yeah.
and it's lightweight. It's not a heavy resistance. And what you can do is, I can't see my legs right now. Let me see if I back up a little bit.
Okay.
So there's two things you can do. You can have your front squat, or your squat, your normal body squat, where you have the dumbbells over to the side, and you're basically just squatting down like you're trying to sit down in a chair, and you're getting back up. The only thing you want to focus on, if I turn to the side right here, when you squat, you want to hold the dumbbells out in front, you want to push your butt back, and then bend your knees. So your knees shouldn't go, as they say, over your toes too far, unless you have really good ankle mobility.
You can get in front of
In front, they'll be able to see?
Oh, yeah,
Lucy, did we get to Facebook?
not yet, I'm still working on it.
Okay.
So, all right, now there we go. Now we can see my knees. So if you see me from the side, I'm gonna squat from the side. There's two different squat variations you can do. You can take your dumbbells, and you can, remember I said butt back, and you want your knees slightly out, and you're just gonna come down. Notice how my back's straight. If you're ever squatting, and we go through this all the time, Bob.
Yeah.
If you're squatting
curve.
and your back curls like this, that's very, very bad on spinal health. It causes a lot of inflammation. You can actually close a bunch of pathways to brain signaling throughout the entire body. So you always want to make sure that the shoulders stay back, chest out, butt back, and knees out, and you're squatting down. Easy, my back straight the entire time, and it's not bending over, so you're not doing like this. So that's basically your front squat, or your body squat, I mean. Super simple. Two things you can do for full upper body right here. You bend over, take your dumbbells, notice how my shoulders are hanging. Remember, we want our shoulders back, because we want our back straight. So if you take your arms, pull back with your elbows, and then come back forward, you're now doing a dumbbell row. So if you do one dumbbell row, stand up, shoulders back still, because remember our back stays straight. We curl the dumbbells, so now if I pull up my sleeve, you'll see my bicep work. So right here, dumbbells coming up, and all I'm gonna do is take my hands and I'm gonna externally rotate them, so I'm gonna turn so y'all can see this, and now I'm going into a shoulder press. Boom. Come back down the same fashion, and then slowly let the weights down. You don't wanna sit there and let the weights just drop. That's how your muscles tear. So, real quick, easy motions right here. Squat, boom, hip hinge, dumbbell row, stand up, curl, turn to press, and come down. You literally just did a full body movement within seconds. You can do that, 10 times, maybe take a minute break, do that 10 times, and do that for 3 to 5 rounds every single day. And then just that alone is gonna get your activity level going up. that's quick, it's easy, it doesn't require much. You don't have dumbbells, everybody's got gallons. Fill up a gallon of water. Simple. You know, we
Thank
can
you,
use
Chase.
household items for things like that. I've seen parents even put their kids on their shoulders and do squats.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
have kids sit on your back when you do push-ups.
Yeah,
You're
I've seen
interacting with
that.
your family
Yeah.
at the same time, so it's kind of like a two birds with one stone.
Yeah. Thank you, Chase.
Not a problem.
Let me ask. This is what I want to ask you. How does exercise help you mentally and spiritually?
So mentally and spiritually, basically, exercise releases what's called, like we talked about earlier, endorphins, which is the feel-good hormone. So anytime these release, basically a party is happening within your brain.
Yeah.
So anytime that party is going on, your body's going to feel good. This is why they say you normally want to do your exercise early in the morning.
Okay.
So if you ever, a good test of that, if you work out in the afternoon or you do a lot of activity in the afternoon, try to switch that to the mornings. Do that for a week. At the end of that week, record how you felt versus the week before. You're going to feel a lot better.
Yeah.
You know? When these things start happening, your stress comes down. Anytime stress is down, inflammation is down. And inflammation is one of, according to studies, and on all these medical professions, or professors and professional doctors and scientists and all these neurological doctors, they're finding out a lot that inflammation is a huge cause in almost every single disease out there: cardiovascular, mental disease, lung disease. A lot of these organ diseases and these mental diseases are coming from inflammation in the body, and a lot of that's due to poor nutrition and lack of exercise.
Okay. Wow.
You know, so it's super simple things. It's not like, you know, you got to eat chicken, rice, and broccoli.
Yeah.
You don't even
I
need
won't eat
broccoli.
any broccoli. No. You can still live. Y'all saw my film. I can still do what I do without eating broccoli.
What's interesting, I saw a video online from a fellow named Winston that's an expatriate that's gone from, I think, Australia to China.
Okay.
He took some of his friends to Nevada, and they were shocked at the obesity. Well, in mainland China, the diet was completely different. There were smaller portions, a lot of vegetables, poultry, fish.
So, now that you bring that up,
Yeah.
it's a good, quick little tip, or not tip, fun fact, I should say.
Okay.
So, if you look at China, or you look at the Asian ethnicity, their diets are based around a lot of seafood,
Yes.
a lot of rice and pasta.
Yes.
So it's not a whole lot of, like, we eat a lot of fats, and unfortunately it's the bad fats. It's the saturated fats. So a lot of people, you know, within the U.S., they think carbs make us fat.
No.
But then you've got some of the people, countries with the biggest populations have some of the smallest, skinnier people.
Yeah.
In big populations, you know.
Right,
So
right.
per capita, they're skinnier and we're less, but have more obese. And they think it's because of the carbs, but yet these countries that have all these high carb diets, what it is these seafoods have these omega-3 fats. So a lot of seafood and stuff like that carry these omega-3s, which is a anti-inflammatory.
Good.
The Western diet, which is what most Americans eat, so a lot of fried foods,
Yeah.
a lot of processed foods,
Yeah.
contains a lot of bad fats from, you know, bad oils. And what these oils are doing is they're pro-inflammatory, so they cause inflammation. Now, we need a little bit of inflammation in our body, but we also have to combat that with anti-inflammatories.
Exactly.
And what happens is when you balance off that ratio, they like that ratio to be about 2:4 to 1. So an anti-inflammatory fat or an omega-3 to like an omega-6 or 9, they want a 4 to 2, 1 ratio. The American diet's more closer to the 30 to 40 to 1.
And we're probably
So
even
we
higher
are,
here.
yeah,
Indiana,
it's
we're probably even
huge. And then the
worse.
South, we cook in butter and oil. That's all we do.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I said, it's easy to be overweight.
It is.
You know,
It is.
you know, back, you look 15, 20 years ago when McDonald's and stuff was around, even the portions were smaller.
Yeah.
You know, you walk out and the whole meal was maybe 400 or 500 calories. You know, you can eat that on a daily basis and not get overweight. But now you walk into McDonald's, you're walking out with 1,500, 2,000
That's
calories.
right. That's right.
And feeling hungry in an hour or two.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not fulfilling food. It's a lot of food that your body has to go through a lot to process.
It's on
and
the
get a hold
it's on
of.
the menu. They tell you how
Oh,
many
yeah.
calories. You know, like a hamburger might be 1,000 calories.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's, so how are your family, I mean, is this something they've taken up to with the nutrition, and how have you imparted all this knowledge to them?
Man, so my wife used to be really big into it. She still eats good. You know, she
Yeah.
exercises when she can. So
Yeah.
fortunately, she takes
Your wife is
a
beautiful.
lot of the work at the at the house because I work very long hours. And with me competing and in the fitness world, it takes up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say, you know, I don't eat healthy because then I'm cooking separate for me versus my family. All I literally do, my kids eat the same foods I eat, but at the same time, I might just cook a box of macaroni and cheese for them. So, you know,
Yeah.
kids are a lot more active than we are.
Oh, yeah.
They have way more, I don't know where they get all their darn energy from, but I wish I had that gland that they have that I don't know about. Because they have energy that's unheard of, you know,
Oh,
so
I know.
they're burning this stuff off. So they need a lot of proteins and a lot of good fats, and they can take on the extra carbs,
Right.
as long as they're active.
As
You know,
long as
whereas
they're active, not
whereas as
stuck in
we
the
get
cell
older, our
phone or
metabolism
the
slows
tablet.
down unless we do something proactive to keep that metabolism up, building muscle, staying more active, you know, getting a little more intense. You know, as we grow older, our muscle density and everything will eventually diminish if we don't do something about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
over time, we're essentially our time clock is ticking. So it's, you gonna invest into yourself, or are you gonna let a doctor take care of your suffering self? You know.
Right.
And it starts at kids, you know, and I try to tell people that, fortunately, with the knowledge I have now, I'm able to do it with my children, but
Good.
there's millions of kids out there, you know, that their parents know nothing about this. And
they're just
that's
eating-
why I do what I do,
And
to
they're
try
all
and get that
eating
out.
junk food. and
Junk
getting
food, you know, you
obese.
see some of these kids that are 50, 60, 100 pounds overweight at 10 years old, and it's,
Oh,
what do you think 20 years from there, like, they're not getting better. And it's
It's
just
gonna get worse
misinformation,
if they
you know, it's just,
Right.
you know, it's not proper information or enough getting out there.
Exactly.
And that back to what you asked earlier, that's another thing that got me into this, is just trying to help as many people as I possibly can.
That's very admirable.
You
Yeah.
know, it's somebody's got to do it. Otherwise, as a whole, we're just going to diminish away.
Yeah.
If there's a million me's,
Yeah.
that's better than none. You know.
Exactly.
So
Well, you mentioned depression earlier. They are finding a link between mental health, depression, and brain inflammation.
yes,
And with schizophrenia, something about the neurons grew too fast and everything gets
and
scrambled.
they're separating. So from what I can gather, especially with schizophrenic, Alzheimer's, OCD, a few of these mental diseases, what happens is these neurotransmitters, or your neurons and everything, they get so far apart that the gaps they don't transmit properly.
Okay.
So when that starts happening, your body essentially wants to freak out.
Right.
So when you start feeling this heightened feeling, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to lose control or you're going to break down.
Right.
One of the two is going to happen. And the people that break down fall into depression. The people that lose the control fall into anger issues and aggression, stuff like that. But exercise tends to bring those transmitters closer together.
Closer together.
So
less gaps.
you may not fix the problem, but you can definitely get good at halting the problem. So
That's
it's never too late to start. You know, they say, "Oh, I'm too old for this." You're still living.
never
It's
too late.
never too late to start.
never too late.
Look, Bob over here. Bob's doing great. Day one, he could barely move. Now we're moving all kinds of stuff.
That's
We're not
great.
breaking. You know, we've setting more goals. That's how you got to be. You have to be driven throughout your life to be healthy.
I don't know
to be
any other,
healthy.
but I don't know anybody of any age that's done 9 books in
Oh, I
6
know.
years. I don't know any author, and I know quite a few authors.
I got a lot of catching up to do.
Me too. I'm working a novelette. I have to scan it in first and then start editing, because I wrote it back in '79.
Yeah.
Lots changed. And this is what concerns me. These kids I see teenagers sitting at a table in a restaurant and they're all glued to their phone
Oh yeah,
instead of talking like we are on the set here.
man, that's gonna be a problem. You're gonna see a lot of psychological effects from that.
Oh,
These
yeah, of
kids
course.
are gonna ADD, ADHD. You know, these are highly overdiagnosed diseases, and
Right.
what's happening is we're essentially growing apart as a social life, and it's
Exactly.
causing anxiety, it's causing depression because you're living a false, almost a second life outside of what the real world is.
Exactly.
You know, so they separating themselves from reality. So then when it hits, they have no clue how to act. You know, that's why a lot of these technology and iPads and phones, and you see, 10-year-olds walking around with iPhones on Facebook, and it's not good for the mental health.
No,
Especially as a child. That's when we're developing. That's what's most important. So is 50 too old to start? Heck no.
No.
But if you'd have started at 5, you may not have never had the issue at 50. And that's what we have to try and teach people. Is you got to start as a kid, and it's not the kid's fault.
No.
It's
No.
and it's not necessarily the parents' fault. It's whoever in the generation knew about it didn't pass it on, and it just slowly that pass on is getting further and further apart.
Wow.
From what I can understand, so there's things I know today that I wish my parents would have known, but I'm glad, luckily I'm able to pass that on and make sure my kids grow up healthy and
That's good.
at a healthy
That's good.
state, healthy mental state, and all I can do is hope for the best,
What branch of the military were you in?
So I'm still in. October, I'll make 10 years in the U.S. Air Force. I did some active duty time when I first got in. I was a single father, so they wouldn't let me go full time for very long. And I stayed in the reserves. Been a jet engine mechanic
Cool.
the entire time.
That's one of my interests is jet airplanes, especially jet fighters.
It's fun, man. It's definitely a trip seeing these big planes and knowing that I'm working on a multi-million-dollar aircraft that drops bombs.
There's a guy that actually bought a Harrier vertical takeoff
Oh, wow.
jet. He bought it and restored it.
Wow.
He just retired after I think 20 years. He found a female pilot that's short that's going to take over, but he has
Nice.
3 of them now. And he's got
So he might have a dollar or two.
Yeah.
And I'd like to add, Red Laurel flies
Brad
airplanes.
Laurel does fly.
And he told me his airplanes are 30 years old, that you really have to be intent and concentrate to land them
Oh,
and take
yeah.
off,
Oh, that's just-
Gotta have
Instead
a
of
good mind
buying
for
a
that.
brand new plane that would be easier
Yeah.
to fly, yeah.
Well, check out this guy. His last name is Nalls, Nalls, and he was flying the Harrier jet when something went wrong with the avionics, and he finally landed, but it was kind of scary because the
Sketchy.
hydraulics failed.
Oh,
This is a 40-year-old airplane,
Yeah, yeah.
And then there are these guys that are out there flying the P-51 Mustangs and the F-4U Corsairs. I did my math. A lot of those were built in 1940.
Yeah.
That's 80 years ago, and they're still racing these things at 500 miles an hour and down in Reno.
It's incredible.
That would scare me out of my mind.
Chase, you had fun?
it was a blast.
It was
I'll be
a
back.
bla- You'll
I'll be
back. Yeah, we thank you for being on the show. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate
It was a
it.
Thank you,
pleasure.
Chase. I'm
It was
going
a
to do that
pleasure.
walking in the morning.
Oh yeah, get it going, man.
And
You can't-
ladies and gentlemen, if you watch the show, y'all will be hearing more of my exploits as a bodybuilder. Y'all will be hearing more of my exploits as a rider. And me and Richard will always be on. And Lucy, come say hello, goodbye, with our beautiful director, Lucy. We got a good team here. And we thank you for
Oh, yeah.
all the information. We definitely want you on. And listen, I'm on fire for bodybuilding.
Hey.
Yeah.
we got 12 weeks.
We got 12 weeks.
Maybe we can do another thing closer to the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could.
yeah.
We could.
Closer to
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, we could. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And I would like to talk to the people that are by themselves, that are probably living in abject poverty, isolated. If you're mad at God because of the injustice you've had, and we've all had injustice, we all, okay.
All right.
We got a CD for you, a
So
DVD.
Gotcha.
Neat.
Of the recording?
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Non-exercise
Activity thermogenesis.
thermogenesis.
Read up on that.
I will do
That's
that.
interesting stuff, man. It's stuff that you wouldn't believe how easy. You know, like you don't have to go to the gym to stay active.
Right.
You know?
I would like to start swimming again at Lord's Health Promotion Center.
Now swimming, that is the healthiest cardio to do.
Yeah, I
it's
need to get back
impact free.
into it. Yeah.
It's easy on the body. It's complete body friction. So it's a full body workout, you know?
How you like the show?
It's good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I've never been on TV before. I was
Nice
a little nervous
one.
at first.
And we got, you know, the Facebook didn't work.
Well, it happens.
But we got the DVD
Yeah.
so you can show your wife and all that.
And she might have watched it on TV. Look,
Y'all got Cox cable?
we do.
I'm gonna
I
start
told her she
practicing
was
with the
gonna be
free
on.
weights.
Okay, okay. Lucy, we couldn't get on, Facebook,
Yeah, this is a good little thing y'all got going on. It's pretty neat.
He's been doing it since 2005.
Oh, wow.
Lou, and then Jamie passed
Oh,
away.
What kind of audience y'all got?
That's what we're having a little trouble tracking.
Track the amount of people.
Okay. So the links can be on? So that people can watch it on Facebook? Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that walking in the morning. That is something I've never heard of in all my
Just
life.
Easy.
Hang, hang around, we'll get you your DVD.
Okay.
I gotta go up to the living room.
I gotta go too, but.
I'm gonna start doing the free weights.
Did I behave myself well?
You did.
I've been doing this a long time.
That's what you just told me. Richard just told me. 2005.
Yeah.
Y'all probably got a pretty good following.
Yeah,